Welcome back, guys and gals. Melodic Symphony here, and today we're going to be playing some more Roommates. It's getting really interesting, in my opinion. I mean, all the stuff going on is starting to change now, so it's a bit different. And I honestly think we're, like, almost over what we need to be. Like, because I've never seen it this high at week 15. I've never seen the money this high. I've never seen the energy that high at week 15. So, we're good. Let's go. Woo! It's starting to get really nice outside. The weather's been nice and warm lately. This is pretty much the perfect finals week. With spring break only a week away, I'm having a hard time concentrating on my schoolwork. I clap my hands on my cheeks to try to keep my head together. I still have all my finals to take. I can't afford to be distracted now. I've got a book in my lap, but my attention keeps wandering and I keep staring at the quad around me. That's how I noticed Professor Task walking by me, which got me thinking about his extra credit assignment. I wonder if Max has already gone to see him. I mean, I've been wondering if I should go see him. The professor is almost through the quad. I can still catch him if I want, but I'm not sure I want to. I watched Professor Task disappear into one of the buildings. I really don't want to betray Max. I don't even want the temptation of talking to Professor Task. I really hope Max hasn't betrayed me. But at least I'll know I kept my end up. I return to the book in my lap, but a few minutes later my attention is wandering again. I look up at the building Professor Task went into and see Max coming out. That doesn't bode well. There's nothing I can do about it. I go back to studying again and just hope for the best. Wait, you want me to do what? Please, Anne. Sally was all worked up about this thing today, and I'm worried the scene might get ugly. I'm already stuck here fielding calls from the housing authority about student involvement. Apparently, Sally went down to the science building earlier to join a bunch of other students in protesting. What exactly are they protesting? I don't know. I'm paid to keep you people from burning the house down, not to watch your every movement. Sorry, Anne. It's been a rough week. Can you please go check up on her for me? Well, I'm supposed to have a meeting with my advisor this afternoon. Come on, I'll pull some strings and make sure your advisor sees you tomorrow. Well, okay, if you're sure you can get it rearranged. Definitely. Thank you, Anne. I owe you. I head out the door and over to the science building. When I get there, there's a crowd of maybe 30 people, all holding up signs and murmuring. The crowd doesn't seem ugly, but they do seem quite disgruntled. I can see a few campus security officers overlooking the crowd. I wonder where Sally is in all this. Are we going to stand for this? Ugh, right on cue. Sally's standing on a box of some kind at the front of the crowd, speaking into a microphone. When I found out they were doing testing on animals here at our school, I sent out the call for action. I'm really happy that you all answered the call, but now we need to send up a different call. A call to stop the atrocities happening right inside this building. Oh god, jeez. The crowd cheers for her, hefting their signs high. I can see the security guards getting restless. A few of them are reaching towards their belts. Of course, the school doesn't allow weapons, so they don't have anything on their belts. Still, it's worrying. I make my way to the front of the crowd and wave to Sally. And that's why we cannot stop our clarion call until these monsters have given up the testing they're doing on animals in there. Are you with me? The crowd cheers again while I try to get Sally's attention. That's what I thought, and if those cowards don't get out here soon, then we're gonna bust in there and free those animals ourselves. This is just wrong. The crowd cheers again, even louder this time. The security guards are definitely getting nervous. I frantically wave Sally over as she finally gets off her box. Oh, Anne, hey, I'm so happy you came. I came because Dominic asked me to check up on you. I didn't even know this was happening. Well, I'm here anyways. Oh, well, I'm still happy you came. How did this all start? Right, you won't believe it. I was in on our campus message board when I read a post stating they were due to begin their testing with animals today. A message board post? Really? Yeah, the guy must have been a scientist because he said it was going to be really hard to deal with. He said he was expecting a lot of suffering. They're testing on suffering animals. I can't stand for that, Anne. Sally, look, the internet is full of liars. I remember when some post had me convinced that malaria was carried exclusively by 6-year-olds. Are you sure this was true? Well, answer me this. If nothing is happening in there, how come they refuse to let us in and see? Maybe because there are 30 angry people out here? Yeah, 30 people angry about all the lies. The whole line is just so silly. Yeah, 30 people angry about all the lies. Look, are you with me or against me here? I've already had to tell those stupid rent-a-cops that we're perfectly in our rights. Don't you start on me too. I think last time I did go back home and do some quick research. This time I'm doing this one. Well, okay, Sally, if you're sure. I'm not sure I like all this confrontation, but I don't want to doubt my friend. Sally turns to face the crowd. We've given them enough time. We're going in there to get some answers. Together, Sally and I march up to the door, and Sally begins to pound on them vigorously. Finally, we hear the latch open, and a small, bespectacled face appears. Hey, I know you. You're Butch, right? Open this door this instant. We're here to stop this farce. I really wish you could, but our research isn't done. I can't let you in. You can't stop us. We're going to get some answers and finish this terrible crime. Testing on animals is wrong, and I won't rest until you understand that. Look, it's fine. The animals are fine. Just go away, okay? Are you going to let those animals suffer? What? Look, just go. We're not leaving. Look, Butch, we're determined, and you're not going to stand in our way. Can't you just please let us in so we can see for ourselves? While I have him distracted, Sally grabs the door and slams it into Butch. He reels from the hit, and Sally and I quickly move in behind him and shut the door behind ourselves. So I like how the science building is exactly like every single dorm housing there. Reusing backdrops instead of just making another one. Again, another tiny issue with this novel. Alright, I bet the testing is coming from this way. Sally takes off down the hall, leaving Butch and myself to fall in her tracks. Really, this is all so unnecessary. It's a misunderstanding, really. Yeah, I'm sure the suffering is all just a misunderstanding. As we're going down the hallway, I hear what sounds like a horse whinnying coming from one of the rooms. Wait, Sally, I heard something. In there? We gather outside the door and Sally quickly pushes it open. As we all stare into the room, my jaw falls to the floor. I glance at Sally to see her in a similar state. What we see inside the room looks more like a circus than a science testing facility. There are even little kids all over the place, riding on the backs of animals. Various horses and camels are in the large open room, along with students in lab coats with long, suffering looks on their faces. What is going on here? Wait, don't tell me. Testing on animals? Even as I say it, I can't believe how stupid it sounds. Yet, as I look, I can see the pencils and papers in the hands of the kids riding animals. Sally slaps her face with her palm so hard, some of the kids turn to look at her, wondering if she's all right. Well, this is officially the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. The school clearly has too much money on its hands. Look, grant money is really easy to come by in this university for some reason. Also, our professor is a sadistic bastard. I heard that. It's some kind of stupid experiment. The government funds it, not student dollars. Can we please get back to our incredibly dumb job? Yeah, go ahead. I think I'm all protested out. So are we done here? I have a few strongly worded letters to write to my local congressman. Sally and I make our way back out to the building where Sally quickly disperses the crowd. Then we both go to the cafe to worry about how depressingly stupid today was. Oh, I love that scene. I take a sip of water. Come on. Oh yeah, I forgot. I have to actually click it. I've got finals all week, and yet I still feel like I have a ton more studying to do. Everyone in Latin House is hard at work, trying to get their last study sessions in. Isabella's been locked up in her room since dawn. Sally's barely been outside to walk her dog. And even Rakesh is... As I look into Rakesh's room, I'm actually not sure what Rakesh is doing. He appears to be doing a kind of headstand on his books. Rakesh, I think you get less money from the student bookstore if you ruin the book. Unfortunately, I think I startled Rakesh as he crashes to the ground. I briefly consider running before he recognizes me. Yeah, why not? Are you okay, Rakesh? I didn't mean to startle you. I am fine, thank you, Anne. I was trying to study. Were you trying to learn by osmosis, Rakesh? Certainly not. I am not a buffoon. You know osmosis doesn't actually work like that, right? But what about if, Rakesh, unless you became an amoeba since the last time we spoke, I don't think osmosis is gonna help you out much. Do you really think it would work? Not really, no. Well then, I guess we'll have to figure out a different way for you to learn the material. I suppose I must rely on other methods to learn. Well, what do you have in mind, Dan? Well, what's the subject? It is for biology. I need to pass a class so that my grades reflect that I'm doing well on my proper curriculum. It's important to my parents that I try my best to become a rich American-trained doctor. Well, if it's important to you, let's do it. We will study so hard, you'll be spouting biology lessons in your sleep. We can do it, Rakesh. Yes, we can best this test together. Rakesh and I gather up all of his notes that he's taken during class this quarter. Unfortunately, given his terrible attendance record, his notes aren't really much. Of course, it doesn't help that half his book is covered in doodles and drawings and just splotches of color. We spend a few hours comparing his notes to his textbooks and just mostly studying the things that his class has been going over the past quarter. After a while, Rakesh's attention begins to drift. He just can't concentrate on the subject for that long. I get his attention back a couple times, but he's beginning to lose it. I know he's trying really hard to keep his parents happy. I just want to help him out. It's clear that Rakesh is losing interest, though. I need to do something to clear his head so he'll study more. Okay, Rakesh, grab a set of your markers. I need to go make a copy real quick. Yes, markers. That sounds perfect. Rakesh busies himself with a distracting drawing. Meanwhile, I grab his book and wander over to Dominic's room. He agrees to let me use his computer, scanner, and printer for a few moments. A few minutes later, Rakesh is happily sketching a landscape picture. His markers are on the side for now as he plans out his move. I quickly swoop in and pick them up. Here you go, Rakesh. Try this instead. I hand him my work. I basically created a map of the body with numbers corresponding to certain places and concepts. It's almost like a paint-by-numbers kit. Rakesh eyes the sheet curiously, then looks over to where the markers are by me. It's simple, Rakesh. You can only color it in with the appropriate color, and you'll only know which color is right if you can figure out the concept going on in the area. I know you won't leave that poor creature devoid of life and color, will you? There's no way you could leave that poor soul lifeless and barren, could you? I see the firelight in Rakesh's eyes and smile to myself. Yes, I must bring fire to the page, where there is only void. But quickly, he's a very demanding specimen. How should I proceed? For the next several hours, we associate a certain biological concepts with colors that get to be used in the diagram drawing I'd done. It works better than I thought, honestly. My original numbers are quickly discarded as Rakesh begins to weave the colors together where concepts overlapped. Cellular mitosis fell under a light blue category. The osmosis we'd been talking about earlier ended up a dark green. And eventually every color of marker was intertwined. Finally, Rakesh holds up his masterpiece, a complex twist and turn of colors going in every direction. It's almost like a tie-dye. Well, unless you know there's something there. Then you can see the pattern somewhat emerge. I don't know, Rakesh. You've got some purple there around his arm. That can't be right. What? That is the area that would contract under electrical stimulus. It is where it should be. I couldn't help but clap my hands excitedly. Perfect, Rakesh. Just remember the drawing when you take your test and you'll do great. Rakesh looks from the drawing to me and back. He seems almost shocked before breaking out into a wide grin. I think he'll be just fine. Professor Task's final is grueling. I swear, he's never even hinted at half of these concepts before. I tried to peek at my study partner to see if they're breezing through this, but Max's head is just bent down like everyone's else. There's nothing else for it. I'm just gonna have to finish this test out and find out what happens. Once my test is complete, I'll walk down to the professor's desk. I try to sneak a peek at Max to see if they're having an easy time or not, but it's impossible to tell. Finished, Dan? Hang on around for a few moments. We'll discuss the result of our little extra credit experiment. I nod with a bit of apprehension. I'm not sure I want to know what happened, but I suppose it's all part of the experiment. I return to my desk and busy myself for the remainder of the test time, watching as everyone else slowly hands in their tests. Finally, the only ones left in the rooms are myself and the others in the extra credit group. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. Time to find out which of you will be failing and which will be getting C's. Max looks over me, raising an eyebrow. I shrug and just look back at the professor. Okay, let's start running through this stuff, shall we? Let's see. Marvin, you fail. Looks like Tara came to me pretty quickly. What? This is crap. Suck it up, sunshine. You knew the rules. I watched Marvin run out of the class looking like he spit nails. Okay, who else have we got? Oh, all right, Roxanne. Yes, Professor? Looks like Jared doesn't share your interest in study. I assume I'll be seeing you next quarter then. I look forward to your future test results. Roxanne almost looks like she wants to cry. Or beat the crap out of Jared, who's hiding his head on his desk. Finally, Professor Task looks at me. Looks like you kept faith, Max. Such loyalty brings a tear to me jaded and uncaring hearts. Wait, no, that's heartburn. Anyway, you both took the tests normally, so I guess I'll actually have to grade your tests. I'll get back to you on your other grades, but I assume they'll be fine. That test was brutal. I wouldn't exactly get your hopes up for a good grade just yet. Max grins at me and I can't help but smile back. I don't care if my GPA dips a little. I'm just glad we worked together to overcome this. I'm so happy we did it and didn't give in to temptation. Just a little though, huh? Don't push your luck, mister. I think that a lot of you here. We'll deal with any other stragglers later. I slumped down on my desk, mostly just glad the tension is over when Professor Task's cell phone suddenly breaks the silence. Yes. Well, yes, I put them in a... Well, yes, a prisoner's dilemma. Well, I'm a sociology professor, of course it's relevant. Well, how was I supposed to know his father was a donor? What's going on? Professor Tasks is frowning at something fierce. Someone's clearly reading him the riot act. What? Hell no, I've got tenure. He can go to hell. The grades are staying. I didn't get where I am grading papers and I'm not about to start. Fine. Yes, I can make it up to the students somehow. How about... but that's my... I was going to... Oh, fine. Professor Task looks fit to be tied as he puts his cell phone away. So apparently Marvin's a little crybaby and went whining to the dean. 30 minutes later, Max and I are standing in front of the stunned members of Latin House. Seriously? Yeah, and apparently the dean tore into him something fierce. So to make up for pitting us all through that, we all get to use Professor Task's beach house this spring break. We have to pay our own way, and it's only the space. We're getting no amenity. Oh my god, I'm not playing this game. But it's on a private beach, so we'll have the place to ourselves. Oh man, this is gonna be so sweet! I'm gonna get packing. I hope I have a good swimsuit. Can I bring Vegemite? I don't think so, sorry. It's okay, I'll get my friend Jovia to watch him. Woo, spring break! I watch everyone gather excitedly and go off to start packing. Hopefully this will help us forget the ugliness that just happened, and we can all have a great time. Woo! Yeah, I'm not even trying to say that word. I'm going to be pulling like a Nemo when I'm trying to say that word. Amenities? Jesus. So yeah, that's week 15, and it was a really fun week. I mean, don't you want to do some testing on animals? I can't even fathom what that would be like, walking into a gigantic room and just seeing a bunch of scientists riding horses and camels, writing in clipboards about like a normal test, like maybe something about chemicals or something, I don't know, but on top of animals. This is great. So I'm going to end that one here because I'm going to do week 16 on its own. So thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like, comment, or subscribe if you want to see more. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye!